Hey everyone, it's your brother CJ. Today, day 3, where I talk about what I learned from my 20s to my 30s. And the biggest thing I think in my 20s to my 30s was that's where I became independent. That's where I left home for England and then eventually the United States of America. The things that I was learning was to be able to spread my wings and fly. That means you don't depend on anyone but God. You don't depend on anyone but yourself. That's when you learn to recognize the power of the presence of God within yourself, where you can't call mama, you can't call nobody, and you've got to be able to find a way. And so I began to learn independence, almost like when you get your license, which I got my license when I was about 18, 19. You know, when you're still a kid, you ask your parents to take you everywhere. They got to take you to the mall, they got to take you to the store. But as soon as you get your license, you can go to the next city, you can go to the next town, you can go to the next country. And so that's what it was like for me in my 20s to my 30s. I just grew my wings and spread out. I started to travel. What that did for me is it helped me to become a man. In other words, I could develop my own characteristic. I could develop the things that had been taught to me by my ancestors. I was able to now prove them and try them for myself, to disprove what I thought was incorrect and to prove what I thought was the way forward, and to begin to learn from the world and learn from the people around me. And what that did is I went through college, studied computer science, went into the world of work, was offered a job in New York. I flew to New York and I went in there confident. But as soon as I got there, I realized that everything that I was learning in college was now obsolete. And I had to think on my feet and collaborate with the people at that stage and begin to really grow. And I started to recognize that working together with other people brought together some of the best results. And from then I just started again to collaborate with people, to grow with people, and to trust myself, to bring myself with me. One of the most important things you got to do for yourself is to have great expectations for yourself and show up for yourself. And I started to do that a lot more because there was nobody else who might show up for me between my 20s and my 30s. But there was one person who showed up for me a lot, which is my brother. My older brother is the first one to ever give me a car, right? Like, think about that. How many people give you a car in your life, right? My brother gave me a car when I was starting college, and I loved that car. I tinted it up. I had the rims on it. It was a Chevy Impala, and I loved it. I just started to grow and develop and become someone. And so the biggest lesson, I guess, of my third decade was to learn to collaborate, to learn to trust self, to trust God, and to open up my mind and to be open to receiving and learning from others. And the growing and learning and disproving things that I had learned in my teenage years and proving things that I thought would work in my senior years. And that's what I learned. And so a lot of what I learned in computer science, I use it now to train businesses in AI skills, building your business using AI. And I have a free link, a free ebook for you in the description box, and a training available only for the next 6 days. So click that link and I'll see you there.